Ask Dr. Nicole for Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter, all that good stuff. You can check us out at AskDrNicole.com. And if you are not in our Live Like You Matter group, hi Mish Mish, that's my cousin. You need to check us out. Come and hang out in our community, see what we do. A lot of inspiration, a lot of encouragement. I've been a coach and an entrepreneur for going on 16 years. Is that not the craziest thing ever? 16 years I have been doing this, and thank God successfully have run a wonderful business that has allowed me a lot of opportunities to do some great things in the executive coaching space, helping entrepreneurs do their thing as it relates to strategy and operations, and, you know, just helping people get behind the driver's seat of their lives and business. So, hey, Koki, look at all these fabulous people joining me tonight. So, tell your friends, text folks, tell them to come so that we can talk about my exciting topic for tonight. I have been waiting all day to talk about this. Is perspective and whether or not you need a perspective tune-up. So, what is that all about? So, as you guys know, I wear glasses when I do Facebook Live because I want to be able to shout you guys out. And in order for me to do that, I say often, okay, you know, I got to put my glasses on. So let me tell you a little story about the whole glasses thing. For a long time, I had 20/20 vision, did not wear glasses as a kid, none of that stuff. And actually, I went to do an eyeglass exam for an insurance policy. And I said to the doctor, I don't need glasses, I'm really good. You know, this is all just a formality. And he said, okay, well, let's do the test. No big deal. By the time the test was over, he was like, Dr. Nicole, you need glasses. I was like, I don't need glasses. I see fine. He was like, no, you know, glasses have come a long way, but you do need them. And he gave me these glasses, and he said, when you get outside, it's going to take you about a day to adjust, and you know, then you'll be fine. You'll be able to, you know, see well. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. I see fine. Okay, in about a day, I wore the glasses, and here's what I recognized, you guys. Hey, April. Hey, Taryn. Without the glasses, I thought I really did think I could see fine. When I put the glasses on, I had an epiphany. I couldn't see edges, but I didn't know that I couldn't see edges. In my perspective, I could see everything perfectly until I put my glasses on, my new glasses that I was convinced I didn't need. Then I realized, oh my God, like I can see blades of grass. I did not know that I could not see blades of grass. So let me just say this to you. Perspective has everything to do with everything. And sometimes what I've noticed is that our perspective has become a little fuzzy, but we don't exactly know that. And it's not the kind of thing where we say like a car or like glasses, hey Stevana, or like glasses. It's not the kind of thing where we say, okay, let me go and check this out to see if my prescription needs to be changed, or let me go and take my car in to tune up. We just kind of go along without ever wondering, am I seeing things clearly enough to be as successful as I want to be in living my life in this body, in this time, in this life, doing it to my best ability? We just don't know. So tonight, I want you to think about some of the things that I'm saying, and I want you to recognize that it's possible that, like me, you were walking around thinking you could see fine. Yay, send me some love. You were walking around thinking you could see just fine. And then something happens like this, something really simple that makes you say, let me check not only on what I'm thinking that is shaping my perspective, but what am I seeing? Now think about that for a second, because a lot of people talk about perspective in reference to thinking. And that is very true. What you think, you know, as the saying goes, the woman that thinks she can and the woman that thinks she can't, they're both right. It is very much so what you think. But what you're seeing will often tell you if your thinking is off. Let me say that again. What you're seeing will often tell you if your thinking is off. So, what are some things that I need to do, Dr. Nicole, to figure out if my perspective needs a little tune-up? So, let's look at a couple things. When you are in a bind, or when you're going for a goal, or you're in a situation where you're a little vulnerable, you're not really sure. Hey, Chelsea, Arlene, how are you? Oh, by the way, shout out my girls from Hear My Cry. They are doing it big. Love, love, love Arlene. Love you guys. Love that community. So think about it this way. When you're in an adverse situation, or when you're even in a situation where you need a lot of optimism to get to the destination, what comes up for you? Is it what's not possible? Is it the obstacles that are going to be ahead? Or is it what is possible and who's helping to make those things possible? So for those of you that are in our faith community, you probably got that right off. I'm starting to really be super clear that a lot of times perspective often depends on who we believe is on our team helping us navigate our everyday lives. So if you are in a faith space where you're like, whatever happens, God always looks out for me. He's always looking out for my good, even when I'm crazy, even when I don't have it right. There's a certain level of ease in being able to see the possibility and see the potential ahead versus preparing myself for failure and preparing myself for what's not going to happen for me. So if when you're in those circumstances, the first thing that comes to you is what's not possible, what's not going to happen, what the roadblocks are going to be, all of that stuff, you may want to consider that it's time to have a tune-up. Part of that is a couple of things like, what kind of packaging do you normally see your circumstances in? What kind of packaging do you normally see your circumstances in? So one of the things that I think is key, grace does not always show up with the same package, with the same wrapping paper. It doesn't always show up the way most people might think is standard, but it always shows up. Grace is always present, 100% of the time. So you've got to figure out, can I see the grace in what's happening right now? It may not be what I want. It may not be what I was praying for. All of that didn't quite turn out the way I thought. Hey, Miss Wivetta, First Lady Wivetta. But you've got to ask, well, where is the grace? And can I see it? Do I have challenges seeing grace in situations that are not always exactly the way I want? Because then that says to you, okay, my perspective is a little off because grace is always here 100% of the time. This situation, whatever it is, it could be worse. Whatever it is, it could be mountains of problems and trials and all of those things beyond where I am. So if I can locate where the grace is in that situation, it probably means that my perspective is a little bit clearer in line and more clearly focused, right? Think about times when you have been in a battle, times when you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. That's in my war chest. And you're like, I don't want to go back there. I don't want to think about that again. You should. Don't have amnesia about that, because that's going to help your perspective. Every time you think about where you've been and how you've won and how you've been victorious in that situation beyond the trials of the circumstance, every time you don't choose to have amnesia about what happened, you can use that in your perspective to help you see what is possible. Because if you won before, you can win again, right? You're born to win. So it's like an eagle. Eagles don't ask anybody about how to fly. They were born to fly. So they just do what they do. You're a winner. So if you pay attention to some of the things in the past that you were sure, okay, this is going to take me out for sure. But it didn't. You're still here. That should be able to help you, like glasses, when you put it on and you see through that victory, gives you a tune-up because now you can see clearly to what can happen in the future. Think about who you are allowing to shape your perspective. Here's the thing about friends and associates and colleagues and all of these wonderful names that we throw out there now. When it comes to your perspective, who acts like glasses in your life? When you talk to them, when you connect with them, they help you to see what is possible. They're not looking at everything that's wrong. They're not looking at what can't happen. Think about those people. Who are they? Those are the people that you should go to when you are trying to figure out, am I thinking about this big enough? Am I being strategic in my perspective? Or am I being limited in my perspective? Like I said with my glasses, they help me see edges. The people that you go to say, am I seeing this right? They need to be only the people that can help you have a clear understanding of all of the possibilities ahead of you. That does not mean that they are not good friends if they can't help you do that. But you should not go to somebody that has limited perspective, always sees the impossibility, and then ask them how to help you see the possibility, right? Thinking positive is really important. But like I said, seeing positive is your litmus test, right? Think about the things that you struggle with the most. Everybody's got stuff. The things that you struggle with the most. In addition to how you're thinking about it, what do you attach a definition to in your world that confirms the way you're thinking about it? So you think you're not going to win in this instance. Then you look around you to find validation for that thought. You look around you and you can't seem to see anything that can bring you to the conclusion that you're going to win. That is the time to raise the flag, take a moment, take a breath, and say, my perspective is off. Because no matter what is happening around me, the fact that I can't see anything in this circumstance, that is a gift. I know. You guys are like, okay, Dr. Nicole, some things are so bad, there is no gift in it. That ain't true. I know that's hard. It's hard for me. So please, don't shoot the messenger. In everything, there is a gift. The challenge is, who is looking at the situation and what are they perceiving from the situation? In everything, there is a gift. So I want to make a shout out now to a good friend of mine, Donna, who I talked to tonight, who lost her dog. And I have a dog. I don't know if many of you have pets, but we both have pets. She's a veterinarian, and she just lost her dog. And she said something to me. She's had this dog for 12 years, loves the dog to death, as I love mine. And she said, you know, her death happened so suddenly. And the one thing that I could think about as a veterinarian is that I did not have to make the decision of when her time came. And I was like, ooh, that's perspective. Pain. She's in pain, okay? Those of you who have pets, you know what I'm talking about. Like, they become your family. But in every circumstance, can you see the gift, as small as it may be? Because if you can do that, that gives you an indication that some of the other things you're looking at, you may be looking at it right. And you're the person that needs to be looking at it right, because remember, in most things, even in business, the vision that you put out is what everybody is going to follow. If you can't see any part of it, then how do people follow you towards it? So your perspective is really important, because if your vision is limited because you can't see the gift in every single situation, that's the assignment. Can you see it? Can you find it? Can you dig through and say, okay, where is the grace? Okay, where is the opportunity? Okay, where is the strategy that I'm missing? Okay, is this a lesson that I'm supposed to learn? Okay, is this a conversation, God, that you just want to have with me? Where is it? I know it's here. If I can't see it, it's not because it's not here. It's because there may be something going on with my vision. Last but not least, you guys, perspective will reduce your bounce back time every time. Your resilience is often dependent on your ability to see yourself having bounced back, right? Because there's a lot of this that comes in with our choice. So you get a dynamic, you get a situation, you're in the middle of it, or you get an opportunity, or you're trying to start this new business, and you're like, okay, what's my vision? Who do I want to serve? What's my process going to be? What kind of teammates do I need to have? You have all of this that you have to figure out. Your perspective either creates a ceiling that people can reach for, or it creates a floor, right? Because they're going to follow your perspective based on the vision, and the vision is going to be based on how you see things. Well, if you fall down and you can't see your way up, it takes you longer to get up. Even if we just look at equilibrium, right? And we look at your ability to say, oh, that's a desk. I perceive a desk. I just fell in front of it. I should hold on to that and try to get up. Your perspective of what's possible becomes different when you're not just like, my only option is to lay here on the ground. This is bad. It's all bad. And good does not happen for me. If you're like, well, you know, everybody falls down sometime. And maybe you're like, folk like me, oh, did anybody see? Oh, Lord, I hope I didn't look crazy. But even if I did, I'm getting up out of this, right? So I want you guys to look this week. I want you to take a moment, whether it's tonight or tomorrow, and I want you to prove to yourself whether your perspective needs a tune-up. Ask yourself some of the questions that I asked you. Do you feel like what you are seeing is a true representation of what is possible for you? Or is it based on a little bit of faulty thinking, or a little bit of just being down on yourself, or a little bit of just seeing and thinking impossible things versus seeing possible things? That's going to be on you. And then I want you to do some of the things that we talked about. And ask some of your friends. You'll be surprised what people say. When you ask them a simple question like, hey, do you think my perspective is off sometimes when I'm trying to go after something that's a challenge? Do you think I reach high enough? Do you think I expect things to happen well for me? Or do you have a different experience of me? Ask the people that will tell you the truth. And many times they'll tell you exactly what you need to know. And they'll say, I don't often think that you reach for your potential because I think you're amazing and brilliant. And now that you've asked, sometimes I'm like, man, if I had the talent that you had, do you know what I'd be doing? If you hear anything like that, it's time to get you some glasses, put them on, and say, game, set, match. We about to go and do this. Okay? God bless you guys. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Cheryl. Who am I missing? Lindsay. Claudine. Oh, my God, I haven't talked to you in forever. So listen, you guys, reach out to our community. We have all kind of nuggets, all kind of stuff going on. What I talked about tonight was based on an article that I did in Hope for Women magazine. So shout out to the entire Hope for Women community. Reach out, subscribe. It's an amazing magazine. So you want to have stuff that's going to help you do your life and do it well. It was called Perspective is Everything. You can catch us at AskDrNicole.com and also catch us on all of our social media platforms. God bless you. Have an amazing rest of the week, and I'll talk to you soon.